Best Progressive R&B Album. The nominees are Durand Bernarr, Bilal, Destin Conrad, Flo, Terrace Martin, and Kenyon Dixon.
According to Gemini, progressive R&B is a modern subgenre of rhythm and blues that blends traditional soul with experimental electronic, hip-hop, and pop influences, aiming to push the stylistic boundaries of conventional R&B. It features an eclectic production, often with unconventional structures, and characterized by more adventurous contemporary sound. Formerly known as the Urban Contemporary category at the Grammys, it was renamed in 2020. It often incorporates elements of indie, funk, rock, EDM, emphasizing a more experimental or alternative approach rather than a solely radio-friendly traditional soul music.
The Grammy for Album of the Year goes to the artists and album producers. The nominees are...
Looking back on former winners of the Grammy Award for Best Progressive R&B Album, we see familiar names like SZA, Lizzo, The Weeknd. We even see Beyonce, Rihanna, and Pharrell Williams. Which leads us to question, what exactly makes this different from regular R&B?
The nominees for Best R&B Performance Male are some of the most successful artists in the business. Most of them have been recording for years, and they continue to produce music that satisfies the soul.
To get an understanding of the range that R&B has always had, just go back to the 1992 Grammys, where Peabo Bryson was named a nominee for Best R&B Male Vocalist. He was pitted against Stevie Wonder in that same category, not in attendance. And then Teddy Pendergrass was in the same category. There was Keith Washington with his soulful stylings in that same category. And then to imagine the godfather of soul being in this category was unthinkable, but there he was, James Brown. And then, of course, the person who was going to win the award and everyone knew was going to win the award, no other than Luther Vandross himself.
And the Grammy goes to Power of Love, Luther Vandross.
These days, the Grammys have a plethora of quote-unquote black or urban categories for artists to win. Best R&B Performance, Best Traditional R&B Performance, Best R&B Song, Best Progressive R&B Album, Best R&B Album, Best Rap Performance, Best Melodic Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Album, Best Spoken Word Poetry Album. And the reason why they're making up all of these new categories is because of a historic mistake that they can never get over. In the year 1988, Michael Jackson was the hottest man walking the planet, and sitting at the Grammys with his childhood crush presenting the award, it seemed as if it was a storybook ending where Michael Jackson would have the opportunity to walk up to the stage with Diana Ross, with Quincy Jones looking on in approval, and accept the award that he so fittingly deserved. He, of course, was pitted against many other pop acts of the day that many people did not really consider as being on Michael Jackson's level. But in the black community, if it wasn't going to be Michael Jackson, then it had to be Prince. Surely in a year where Michael Jackson was pitted against Prince, one of these two extremely talented musicians were going to win the award by default. But the Grammys had something else in mind.
And the album of the year is The Joshua Tree, U2.
If you ask the average black Gen Xer or boomer what is your most memorable moment from the Grammys, you would still have a large percentage of people say that face on Michael Jackson in 1988 when he looked at that stage stunned and even mad that he was watching his childhood crush present his award to someone that was not him. We were all stunned. And even after the award show, the talk of the day was, how can this man who has an album that has set the world on fire and a tour to boot be sitting watching the best album of the year go to someone that is not him? And the Grammys never recovered.
All right, let's finish with the Grammys because we need to talk about it. I talked about it earlier, but there's so much to talk about in it. Bad Bunny's picked up a Grammy and he's used a moment to call Ice out. Take a look.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm going to say Eyes Out.
Kosher, the Grammys political. Are we surprised?
As surprised as I was when the sun rose in the east this morning, James. They're so predictable, so boring, and that's what you get, and that's probably why their ratings are down, and nobody's really paying attention to what they're saying.
Although the Grammys found a way to make up for their all-time blunder by showering Michael Jackson with a variety of awards down the line, the damage had already been done, and the window had been open for a variety of new award shows to essentially appeal to the young people that didn't feel like their music was being celebrated properly by the Grammys. And thus the undermining of the Grammys began, and a variety of new shows appealed to the music that more people were listening to. As a result, we see that in the year 2026, the Grammys are struggling to get 15 million people to watch them live anymore. A far cry from what they used to be. And the way that they have responded is by expanding their categories and trying to appeal to even more viewership, even turning to wokeness.
And the Grammy goes to Bloom.
Because I'm new to the idea of progressive R&B and what it actually means or represents, I felt it a good idea to watch the accepting of that award from this past award show yesterday or 2 days ago, together with you.
Happy Black History Month for the rest of my life. Listen, I want to remind everyone that we are all we got, and we know who I'm referring to. So please give yourself some grace and extend your kindness to your neighbor who needs it, okay? With that being said, to the Recording Academy, thank you for the Grammy. To my parents, thank you for loving and supporting me in ways that will last me 10,000 lifetimes. All of my personalities are weeping with joy right now. Thank you to the Academy, to my nominees. My mom and dad are here. Wait, and one last thing. One last thing. Whew. To all the independent artists out there, and to every butch queen who was made to feel like you were too much, I'm the proof that you needed and the sign you've been waiting for. Be yourself!
I opened up my YouTube earlier today and this song popped up, Taking My Time by After 7, and I listened to the first minute of it and I forgot how powerful R&B can be. For you younger guys out there, if you have a young lady, you want to get her in the mood, play this song After 7, Taking My Time, and I promise you it's going to work. But that said, After 7 is a group that is in a long list of people that have never been recognized by the Grammys. Aaliyah never won a Grammy. That seems almost hard to believe. I can't believe she's never won one. Brandy has never won a Grammy, and she dominated R&B for about a 3, 4, 5 year period. McKnight's never won a Grammy. So when you think about the long list of people that we used to listen to that have never been recognized by the Grammys, it's a reminder that they're kind of choosing who they want to be the representation of R&B. Don't get me wrong. Bernarr is an extremely talented musician, and if you look at his music, you can see that. But you can also see that he has a set of mannerisms that suggest that he has a lifestyle that would fit why they put him in a progressive R&B category. Almost to say that we have a separate category for people that aren't quote-unquote traditional black singers or traditional black people. And he's won a Grammy, something that many people have never done, including Brandy and Aaliyah and McKnight. And today is his day to be celebrated. But the question I simply ask is, if this is the new R&B, is there any room for the old R&B? When I think of quote-unquote old R&B, I think of a very diverse set of music. There is the computer sound of Zapp and Roger. There were the teenage love songs of Tevin Campbell or Brandy. You had the soul sounds of a Luther Vandross. You had the jazz sound of a D'Angelo. You could go in any direction. The upbeat sound of James Brown. It didn't seem to need a qualifier for a different kind of R&B. It was just R&B. It was men and women singing about the love and the blues that come along with it to the sound of a rhythm. And now that we have these new categories, including progressive R&B, is essentially them saying this is what's supposed to replace your old R&B. And all I can say to that is it may be R&B by definition, but it's not me or my father's R&B anymore. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care, guys.